16 of Electric Football. It's Christmas week. With me this week, for some reason, Steve Brown.
Because I was dashing through the snow on my way to Electric Football. All right, so we've got Washington at the Titans. And Josh Jackson, God bless him, he's kept the Washington team in the hunt. But I don't see a way that they go into Tennessee with Derrick Henry. Vrabel's figured it out. I hand it to Henry. Henry knocks people over. That his stiff arm is just unbelievable.
Yeah.
And Mariota sticking his head in there, throwing some blocks.
Yep.
And if you watch, you can tell which quarterback really wants it and which one doesn't. When the running play comes back around, and Mariota put some big boy blocks on a defensive lineman.
And he just didn't just stand there and get in the way. He blocked the guy.
Oh, no, he knocked the guy out.
Actually, we watched that together.
Yes, we did watch together this week. Actually, Stu and I got to watch a little football at the Cosmo Club. I'd like to thank the Cosmo Club for welcoming in an Irishman.
We had a bromance.
They're not supposed to do. So I'm taking the Titans easy in this one.
Yeah, Titans need to win this to improve their positioning in the playoffs. Their defense is playing better and better every week. This is the team that can scare you near the end because they're starting to gel. They're playing well, like the Giants did back in the day, come from nowhere and win a Super Bowl. I don't know that they'll win a Super Bowl, but they're certainly one of the better teams going late into the season. Your Titans.
Ravens at Chargers, and this is a fascinating game. You've got, at the top of the AFC right now, you've got the Chargers and the Chiefs who went head-to-head last Thursday in what should have been a great game, but it was just flag on the play. Flag on the play. That's not actually a flag. That's my jacket. I think the Chiefs had 3 first downs on their final drive, and then they got screwed by the refs on the Chargers' final drive. So you go from, what could have been amazing, exciting football to, oh, my God, the refs are deciding these games, and it's
really
horrible. Right now, Ravens have come to life with Lamar Jackson, but do you trust him as an accurate passer or not? Is it all just, right now, him and Josh Allen, they're all just their legs. So do you take them going into L.A. where there is on a neutral site, basically, do you take them against the Chargers?
Everyone's in detention camps right
now. Phillip Rivers still has that ugly passing motion, but it's somehow freaking worse. And Mike Williams, Clemson man, finally healthy and coming alive last week. So I like the Chargers to win here in a very, very big game for them because the Chiefs face a tough game that we'll talk about later.
Yeah.
And it could decide their division.
Yeah, and this is the funny thing. The Ravens' defense is playing great, and this is probably the best team the Chargers are going to face on defense. We'll find out how good that offense is. Right now, I mean, I'm picking the Chargers here, obviously, because I don't think Lamar is the guy that's going to take you to the next level as a rookie. Playing well, but like you said, with his legs. I just like what the Chargers are doing. The Kansas City game was a statement, albeit with some funky flags and stuff like that.
Funky flags.
But that was a statement, and I think they make a statement here. If their offense fails against the Ravens, it changes the whole AFC, in my opinion, for the playoffs.
Bengals, Browns, and the Bengals packed it in a couple of weeks ago. That much is obvious. Browns have now formed a nucleus. You've got Mayfield and Chubb. You've got Garrett on the defense. They have the potential to be a very good team going forward. The question becomes, will Greg Williams win this job? He needs to win. He needs to win out, which would mean they need to beat the Bengals and they need to beat the Ravens. And it would be pretty hard to get rid of them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you've been by far the most successful Cleveland's coach in a long, long time. So, but he doesn't seem to be in favor there. There's, it's kind of one of those like, yeah, he's an interim coach. Hey, he keeps winning. Yeah. They may have to bite the bullet and hire him.
Well,
I'm taking the Browns at home to stay in the playoff.
I am. Who's not rooting for the resurgent Browns? They were 1-31 for 2 years, and they're in the playoff hunt this year with a great nucleus, an exciting quarterback, a fan base that no other town can beat. They've been there forever, rooting on in the worst and literally the worst of times. I am on a Browns bandwagon.
There you go. Bucks at the Cowboys, and I should honestly let MP from Germany pick this because if you go back through our season and look at that man's comments, MP, I don't think you've missed all year, so God bless you. If you watch the Bucks versus the Ravens, go to NFL.com. I'll try and remember to put the link down here. And look up Lamar Jackson's highlights. At the 240 moment in that video, Levante David is looking the wrong way as they launch a play. Then he loafs after the play. Then he gets destroyed at the end of the play. It is so much fun to watch, and it's the little things like that. The Mariota block, Levante David loafing and getting killed, Quentin Nelson's block. That I love that when they mic up the NFL. I love the little things about the NFL, and I hate to say it, but I love the Cowboys in this game. They're going to be able to run. Nope, really?
Nope.
Go ahead, tell me why.
Upset.
Oh, there you
It's
go.
upset week. The Cowboys were exposed by the Colts, who we'll talk about them later. They're not that good. The Cowboys are not this good. Here they are on the road against a team that doesn't give a crap, and Leonte David, who's probably in the hospital after that hit. Again, it's one of those, they got nothing to lose. Look what Cleveland did. Cleveland really, they're basically playing out the string, and they win a game that no one expected them to win. I'm going to go with Tampa here. I don't think that the Cowboys are that good.
I don't see Tampa stopping Ezekiel Elliott and Amari Cooper. I just don't. But so we'll agree to disagree on that one.
We will.
Vikings at the Lions.
Oh.
And the Vikings came out.
Boo.
They laid a quick whooping on the Dolphins. We're up 21-0. And then we managed to let you all back in there for a little bit.
And then we managed to go home.
Kirk Cousins decided that Minka Fitzpatrick needed a pick six.
We decided halftime was the final and went home.
All right, so we need this one desperately for the wild card because we finish up with the Bears. We've decided that we got rid of DeFilippo, and I don't know if it's because he's from Florida and was showing off for his family, but Dalvin Cook had the best game of his Viking career, breaking tackles, which I haven't seen a lot of, using the speed and the moves, and we are supposed to be riding Dalvin Cook now, which I think is a very smart move if he can stay healthy. I think we've got we've got Hunter, we've got Griffin, we've got Sheldon Richardson coming after Stafford, who has nothing to play for.
Nothing.
I think the Lions pack it up, and I hope Zach Zenner becomes a doctor.
Lions are limping. They have really nothing to play for. What are you going to do? They're home. Are their fans going to be there the day before Christmas Eve? They'll probably be at the Mall of America if that's close by. I'm taking the Vikings and I'm giving the 4.5. Salud.
Bills at the Pats, and the big the big talking point right now is the Pats are not what they once were. Brady's making mistakes. Gronk's body has broken down, and he is not able to move the way he used to. It doesn't matter in this game. The Patriots are all they need to do is game plan around stopping Josh Allen from running, and I'm pretty sure Bill Belichick is capable of that, especially at home when they need the game. Give me the Patriots easy.
Yeah, the last time the Patriots lost 2 in a row, my kids, who are now 28 and 26, were 12 and 10. So that tells you how long it's been. This is a romp. The line's 13.5. The Patriots are going to have that done in the first quarter. Take the Patriots all day long.
Packers, Jets, and I really like what I saw out of Sam Darnold last week. I honestly, I know there are no moral victories in the NFL, and Jamal Adams was on TV today going, no, if you think that way, you're a loser. I think that way. I think the Jets had a moral victory. He's got Robbie Anderson as his main target.
Right.
That's what he's got.
Running backs.
No running backs. Some decent tight ends in Herndon and the guy I loved from Clemson, Leggett. But, you're not scaring anybody with the Jets, position play. They're what am I looking for? What's the word I'm looking for?
They're playmakers.
They're skill position players because they really don't have any. And quite frankly, I wouldn't hitch my wagon to Robbie Anderson. So the Packers, vastly disappointing season, lame duck coach, going to, the Jets. Jets home for the second week in a row. Packers traveling for the second week in a row. This one sets up for the Jets.
Yeah, I'm all over the Jets on this. Not because I think they're the better team. The conditions are right. The Packers are done. There's so much dissension. You got to look at Aaron Rodgers and wonder why he's being so vocal against his team. You're not that great that you can diss your entire franchise. This is the storied franchise. You've won 1 Super Bowl. If you were that great, you'd have won more. I'm disappointed in the way he's been treating everybody in Green Bay, and I'm picking the Jets to Well, I don't think Favre will fall down like he did in the Meadowlands, for that sack for Strahan. But I think you'll see Aaron Rodgers falling down often.
Aaron Rodgers, you bring up an excellent point. Aaron Rodgers has a really weird demeanor. Like, I think he's genuinely the leader of that team, and I think he's well liked, but it's not your classic blood and guts football quarterback, like wiping the blood off his mouth and going, "Come on, boys, let's go win one for Grandma." Even the State Farm commercials, which I hate.
Please stop.
He has a very weird demeanor, and I could see football players not really buying into the Aaron Rodgers leadership thing.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong on that, and the talent is unquestioned.
Right.
But you bring up an excellent point. I don't know that he's the kind of guy I'd want to go to war with.
I don't know either.
Texans, Eagles, Stu, go ahead.
Important game for both as Philadelphia can even up with the Cowboys, one of the reasons why I'm not taking Dallas, with an Eagles win. The Texans escaped the Jets. Let's say that again. The Texans escaped the Jets on Saturday. I think they're going to find it hard to win in Philadelphia. I am taking the Eagles at home.
I went the same way, but I really vacillated on this game because I love the Texans because you got your Clemson connection of Deshaun Watson to Hopkins. Excuse me, I combined the two guys. Combine the two guys' names.
The Munchkins.
I love watching Watt, Merciless, and Clowney on defense. I really I enjoy watching the Texans play. Having said that, I think the Eagles are going to win this game, and I have not been able to figure out why. I mean, you're going with Foles. Yeah, is Foles that magical?
Foles.
Somebody help me out.
Anyone have a quarterback? Foles.
In the annals of backup quarterbacks that have done great things, what do you got? Hostetler. You got Miami.
Trent Dilfer. You had.
Well, Dilfer was the starter, though. I'm talking about backups.
Oh,
you had.
We had Morrill and Woodstock.
Yeah, exactly.
We couldn't even pick one.
And Foles has got to be working his way up there into the magical backup quarterbacks that win Super Bowls and win when they play.
Mm-hmm.
So Foles, Sproles, Eagles. That's my pick.
Okay. We got the Falcons and the Panthers.
The Panthers need a couple more pick twos, evidently, because they just did not get it done. Christian McCaffrey had another good game. Oh, by the way, just apropos of the fact that Christian McCaffrey is doing a hell of a job with yards from scrimmage, look up who is the second all-time leader in yards from scrimmage from the NFL, and then tell me in the comments if you would have guessed that in a million years or not. I'm not going to say the name, but look up all-time yards from scrimmage leader. I promise you 95% of you could not figure out who the number
99% of you
who the number 2 guy is. When you see it, you go
316 will know this.
When you see it, you go, that makes some sense, but I wouldn't have guessed it. Anyway, Falcons hung 40 on the Cardinals. Panthers offense sort of laid an egg against, other than the McCaffrey trick pass and the pick 2 laid an egg.
Newton's been throwing bullets, but into the ground 5 yards short of the guy. What the hell's going on?
I think Newton's more hurt than people are saying.
I bet you.
I mean, it's the accumulation of the hits over the years, the shoulder problem. I don't think he has the arm strength that he once had, and he's never been the most accurate quarterback. There was a stat today, look it up. I think his accuracy this year is the highest it's ever been, and I think it's the first time it's over 60.
Wow.
Even going back to college. So, he's done an awful lot. He has a strong arm. He does make key plays at key times, and he does a lot with his legs. But years and years have taken a beating, and that man has taken a beating. Wear on the body, you can't always come back from it. So
he's grimacing a lot from hits.
Having said all that, I'm taking Carolina because I think their defense is better.
You've typed on that to you, too. Give you all the reasons why they're going to lose and then pick them.
Yeah, no, that's classic electric football. That's classic Stu, really, but I'm taking the Panthers.
I think Cam is more injured than anyone suspects. Here it is, another divisional game with a chance to absolutely bury the Panthers' playoff hopes. They're slim now. I think the Falcons make them dead. The overview shots of the Panthers Stadium for Monday Night Football in a really good matchup. I don't know if it was because the colors of the jerseys, but it looked kind of empty. Was it me?
I wasn't paying attention to that.
Okay.
I got to tell you. There have been some empty seats in the NFL this year.
They're blimp shots. I couldn't tell if it was the seats or the people, because there was just blocks that looked like there was nobody sitting in it. But then again, I was on my third drink. Anyway, no, I'm taking the Falcons here.
Giants at Colts, and the Colts might be the most improved team this year. They figured it out on the offensive line with Nelson and Kelly. Can they contain Barkley becomes the only question, because once you put pressure on Eli, he does that little thing that he did at the end of that game where he just went like, we were debating, is that a pass? Is that a fumble? Is that just him panicking? Like, what the hell was that? But the Giants really laid an egg on offense at home in the rain. They can complain about the conditions. Their tackling was poor. Henry, like I said before, was breaking tackle after breaking tackle. Giants' pass rush has been fairly non-existent, so I expect the Colts to run with Mac, protect Luck, win the game by about 14.
Yeah, I'm not going to add to that because I feel the same way. Their Colts are steaming ahead. The Giants are a steaming pile.
I like that. Jags, Dolphins, Stu.
I would like to take Miami here.
I would like for you to.
I would like to. There's possible coaching changes, in my opinion, in both camps of this game. So it'll be interesting to watch which team is fired up and which team isn't. That said, both teams lost last Sunday, so I'm picking a tie.
I can't see the Jags going and making a coaching change.
No?
I could see the Dolphins doing it, but you don't hear anything about it happening. They seem to like Gaze. They didn't quit last week. The Jags quit 3-4 weeks ago. I'm taking the Dolphins to win this game. And I think one of the interesting things that we're going to talk about later, because the Raiders game is later, but there's a race to the bottom right now. And if the Raiders are, I'm going to talk about it now, screw it. If the Raiders are the first pick in the draft, does Gruden go, I want a quarterback that I can groom, and does that make Carr available? And if Carr is available, what better fit for him than the Jaguars?
True.
Like, am I nuts? Maybe there's contract reasons that this can't happen? I don't know. But it would seem to me that the Jaguars could bounce back from horrible to amazing if they were able to make that happen. And the Raiders will know if the Cardinals have lost, and quite frankly can lose themselves to stay in that race for the number one pick. Barring a late season run by the Raiders, it's going to be fascinating to see if they go QB. If they gave up on Mack, they gave up on Cooper. If I were Carr, I'd want the hell out of there.
Absolutely.
To be perfectly frank,
you ruined my team.
Right. So I think I might be, agitating. And there have been talk that him and Gruden are not exactly on the same page.
Well, and that's evident because you don't see any love fest between them ever in any footage.
Yeah. So it's going to be the Derek Carr's offseason and what the Raiders do with their either the number 1 or number 2 pick, because that's where they're likely going to end up, is going to be fascinating. But I will take the Dolphins to win this one. We have St. Louis at the Cardinals. Go ahead, Stu.
St. Louis.
Oh, sorry.
The Cardinals are playing the Pittsburgh Pirates in the NL East Metro.
Actually, this is St. Louis against St. Louis in the past.
It really is.
Anyway, I'm sorry, Stu.
The Rams must win here to keep pace with the Saints here. They're one game behind. I think the Rams have the easier schedule to win 2. The Saints could lose 1. This is a must-win. Cardinals are on vacation already. Rams.
Yeah, the Cardinals are the cure to all your problems. So all of a sudden we're wondering about the Rams offense. We're wondering about Gurley's health. We're wondering about Jared Goff under pressure. 2 bad games in a row, and all of a sudden the Rams are not the team that we've seen all year. Oh, please. They're gonna hang about 45 on the Cardinals and win this one easy. Bears at San Francisco. And this one's easy. The Bears D smothers Mullins and Kill. What else do the 49ers have? The Bears D and the Saints D right now are the top 2 in the NFL, in my opinion. I don't see a way that San Francisco wins this game. Stu's going to pick the upset, but I'm taking the Bears.
No, I'm not.
Okay. You had that look.
I don't have a love for this game for Chicago, and it's one of these stupid games that they could mess up. And this is where I normally take the underdog. But the logical brain that I use on a very rare occasion says Bears.
Yeah, I mean, Khalil Mack.
I wanted to pick him, and I'm like, I just can't take the Niners here.
Mack's sacking people with his back to him. He's like, I don't even have to look at you to sack you. I'm just going to knock
Just lay down!
I'm going to knock you over with my big ass.
Lay down, I just get to touch it.
Mack got a back sack. Steelers at the Saints, and this might be the best game of the week. And it really comes
certainly
down
feels
to
like it.
the Saints secondary is kind of their Achilles heel. Yes, they have Marshawn Lattimore, but after that, what do you got? Eli Apple? I mean, come on, you're going to rely on him? So they're going to be able to stop the Steelers' running game. It comes down to can Big Ben sling it against a semi-weak Saints secondary? I don't think he can. I think he'll make a couple of big mistakes. I like what the Saints have been able to do. I know everyone's like, oh, the Saints have been exposed. All the really good teams, the Chiefs, the Saints, the Patriots, the Rams, they've all had a little, the Bears against the Giants, they've all had a little downstretch here. We've soured on all of them. I would not sour on the Saints right now. I think they're heading for a Super Bowl this year. Give me the Saints at home.
If Pittsburgh mimics the Panthers' defense, they could win this game. I'm not counting on that. I agree. I think this is a game where Big Ben kind of pushes a little further than he needs to on a play, makes a stupid mistake, and the Saints capitalize. The Saints defense certainly kept the Panthers in check all night. There was no real big plays other than the McCaffrey. After that, it was like clampdown. Both teams, really. I mean, both the Panthers surely shut out the Saints' offense as well. There was not a lot happening. But like you said, I think the Saints are headed somewhere, and I'm not sure Pittsburgh is. I'd love Pittsburgh to win for AFC reasons, but I don't think it happens.
So we got KC against the Seahawks, and this is a fascinating game. A couple of weeks ago, you wouldn't have thought so.
Yeah.
But Seattle's defense has really gelled, and it's gelled around their cornerbacks, the young guys in Griffin and Flowers. And Flowers is really impressive. Like, keep an eye on that guy because he's a tall, lanky cornerback that has speed. They've got Wagner. They've got the ability to shut down what KC does. They're at home. They're on a roll. I'm taking the Seahawks in an upset. I would like to say one more thing, though, and that is everyone's talking about, oh, Zach Ertz is going to set the record for most receptions. Compare his stats to Kelsey's and tell me which season you would rather have. Because, to me, Kelsey's having the better season. I don't care if you catch 110 balls. It's about yardage and production. So I just wanted to get that out because I'm a little tired of hearing Zach Ertz having the greatest season ever. Zach Ertz. He's not. Quite frankly, Kelsey's having a better season.
Yeah, and I think it's really starting to show in Kansas City that they miss Kareem Hunt.
Oh God, yeah.
And that's the reason I'm going with Seattle. You know what? They have, even though both teams lost, this is a huge game for both teams. This is a huge game. If the Chiefs lose and the Chargers win, you can kiss the Chiefs goodbye. And week 8, I had the Chiefs going to the Super Bowl. I'm not sure they're gonna, if not for their record, I don't think they'd do much in the playoffs here. Close game, I think the Hawks win. I think they're just a little more confident. They're at home. I don't know that the Chiefs can keep up with the speed on the defense. Hawks.
Yeah, so there's your electric football upset special. By the way, I would love to see the text messages between Hunt and the guys on the Chiefs because that beating and lying, hitting a woman and then lying about it and then having it come out during the season may have taken them from the Super Bowl favorite to early upset, loss in the playoffs. And
I can see a typical early Chiefs exit.
And if you're the Chiefs, you got to be sitting there thinking, this is horrible. To say this is horrible and they should never, ever do this, I'm not advocating this, but they should be sitting there thinking like, so how big of a deal would it be if we brought him back? Like, could we slip him back in? Because, it's got to be tempting. You're going for your first Super Bowl since freaking 69. Where you beat the Vikes, by the way.
Everyone beat the Vikes.
So
nobody beats the Wiz, but everybody beats the Vikes.
It's got to be fascinating. He's sitting at home. What's he doing? Like, what do you do when you go from NFL All-Star super running back to pariah? Do you play video games all day?
He's taking phone calls from the what is this new affiliated football league?
Are you raking
Allied
leaves?
Or the XFL going, yeah, I'll play. No,
seriously, like, what is he lives in Cleveland? Like, first off, why would you live in Cleveland? And second off, what do you do now that you're sitting at
Well, I've been to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I've been to the Football Hall of Fame, and
like
that's about it.
They might not, I'm sorry, Kareem, you can't come in the Football Hall of Fame. Sorry, you're not
What are
allowed
you gonna do?
in.
Beat the doors down?
So honest to God, like I'd like to get inside his head with a little lie detector test and go like, so was it worth it? Like what are your regrets? My
Oh, you'd
God.
snap your neck.
Yes, that's true too. I'd like to be in a sealed room. Denver at the Raiders, and like I said, the Raiders have all sorts of reason to lose. Denver's going to win this game on the road. Excuse me.
Good news. This is on Christmas Eve, so literally no one is going to be watching this game. There's no reason to even televise this. You know what?
I like that Philip Lindsay guy. It's been fun watching
Are you
him.
going to watch on Christmas Eve this game?
No.
Or are you going to put the Yule log on that you recorded last year? on
I'll
your
probably
DVR?
watch this game on NFL Network when I wake up at 2 in the freaking morning because I can't sleep.
So the good news is Christmas Eve. The bad news, it's still going to be played. So the 12 people that are going to be watching it, this is your last Monday night game of the season, and this is the matchup you got. I'm sure they were expecting more with Gruden coming in and the Raiders.
It's a classic matchup.
It is a classic
when you look at
matchup if
it,
it
Broncos
matters.
Raiders, but it's terrible.
It doesn't matter.
So who's
no
winning
one
though?
cares.
Who's
Broncos.
winning? Broncos. That's electric football.
Merry Christmas,
Give us
everybody.
some comments. Enjoy your holidays, however you choose, and God bless you.
Where were you?